Coming into the day, Bluefield University baseball head coach Mike White needed just 2 wins to reach the career 500 win mark. What better way to do it possibly than at his home field in a doubleheader? Well, that's where we'll start. Game 1, White right there. Rams taking on Kentucky Christian Knights. It's a 1-1 tie. Bottom of the third, Moses Aristi hits one deep into left. Johnny Medina comes in to score. Rams have the lead right back. Stay in the third. Nick Guerrera hits it to third, but it'll go right through his legs. That'll score Aristi, makes it 3-1. And it looked like the inning would end here. Bryce Medlock lays down a bunt. Initially, though, he'd be ruled out there, but after looking it over, he'd be deemed safe. Stay in the inning. Rams' second chance. Andres Vega capitalizes up, bases loaded, hits it right in front of the right fielder. That'll get 3 runs in for the 3 RBI double, makes it 6-1. The runs would keep coming. Johnny Medina up once again, who hit it right above the shortstop. Medina's RBI makes it 7-1. Bluefield goes on to win game 1, 12-2. White at win 499. Now to game 2. Rams down 2-0 early, but not for long, folks. Andres Vega cranks one deep to left. That's out of here, makes it 2-1. Stay in the first inning. Brady Jocelyn hits one back up the middle. The RBI single ties it up 2-2. And it's 3-2 Rams after a sac fly. Nick Guerrera hacks at one. Shortstop tries to make a play, but it goes through his glove. That'll get Jocelyn in, makes it 4-2. A little later, Bryce Medlock lays down a bunt once again, and the pitcher's throw to first is just way too high. I'm sorry, folks. Medlock gets the third, and a run comes in to score. To the second inning, it seemed like the home run derby has one on for Jocelyn. He sends one deep to left. That's to the parking lot. That's a 2-run shot, makes it 7-2. Well, if you didn't like that one, how about another? Sean Seal sends one to the bud sign over to the right there, off the wall for another 2-run shot, makes it 9-2. The game would get too close for comfort, but the Rams come back down 13-11 to walk it off in the 7th to win 14-13. Mike White, by the grit of the Rams' teeth, he hits the 500 career win mark. Here's White after on that accomplishment.
Really worried about 500. We were trying to worry about winning the series there. You know, it's just a testament to the people I've been around and that have played for me, and I guess it kind of means I'm a little older. Oh, absolutely. It was in the back of my mind. You know, my wife wouldn't let me forget it, or my kids, but, you know, it's just one of those things where it's always nice to do it here at home with the people that's come out, and I'm appreciative of them coming out and spending time with me. But, you know, it's always good to get them when you can get them.